Hi, this is Crypto Ice. Today I want to talk about the concept of passive income. You know, Warren Buffett once said that time is the friend of the wonderful business and the enemy of the mediocre. Well, this is the mind frame that I had when I decided to invest in XRP and Vechain specifically as my major two holdings. Because one of the main criteria was the staying power. I'm very much focused on what tokens are going to be around 5 years from now and be doing well, because I know in my mind that there's going to be trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars coming into this new asset class of cryptocurrency over the next, 5 to 10 years, right? So that was one of the main things I picked out. So people ask me, well, what's your exit strategy? And I'm not going to give you like a specific number. Hey, when XRP reaches this, I'm going to cash out this much. I'm going to give you more of a framework and insight of my approach. Now, this is not something I'm giving as financial advice. It's just something that you can bounce your exit plan off of. Okay, so there's two different ways to look at this. Do you want to be an average Joe retail investor? I would say no for myself, because I think the average retail investor is like what Jim Rohn talks about, going to the ocean with a teaspoon. Okay? He says you either go to the ocean with a teaspoon or a bucket. And he says take the bucket. Okay? So I'm a bucket man. Like I see this ocean of opportunity, a new asset class, trillions of dollars coming in over the next years. I am a long-term horizon investor. I'm thinking in terms of 5 years on my investments, not, oh, this coin went up this much, I'm going to invest in this, and this one went up. No. When you're just focused on price, then I feel like that you're missing the bigger picture. The ones with the staying power and the real world use, no matter what their price is, if it's well undervalued, those are the ones I'm really interested in. So I'm going to come back to the question, do you want to be an average Joe retail investor, or do you want to invest like an institution? Okay? Institutions invest a lot of more money, okay? This is not about how much you invest, but they have a long-term horizon. They're thinking in terms of 5 to 10 years. They're thinking in terms of long-term holding. Okay, they're not so concerned with the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs. The average Joe retail investor is controlled by emotions of greed and fear, and they end up selling, and then a couple years later they're like, oh my gosh, if I would have kept my money in, XRP is like $100 now. What was I thinking? I don't want that to be me, so I want to invest like an institution. And Robert Kiyosaki, who I've talked about a few times, he is one of my mentors that I look to because he has that mind frame. For instance, he talks about the difference between being rich and wealthy. And again, I realize not everyone's trying to be a millionaire here, but the principles are the same, okay? So he says being rich is in terms of money. How much money do I have in my bank account? And being wealthy is in terms of time. How long can I go without a job before I run out of money, basically? So you see the difference between rich and wealthy. Rich, there's plenty of rich people in this country that are just a missed paycheck or two away from a disaster. Why? Because they've bought the huge house, they've bought the nice cars, they've bought all of these things, they got credit card debt, all this, and they have not had the discipline to build up passive income. Now, what do I mean by passive income? I mean, if you, let's take XRP, for instance. if I was to hold XRP for the next 5 years and I wasn't to sell any of it, okay, just as an example, I could take the interest that I earn off of XRP, as there will be companies that will help you earn interest off of your crypto. If I could earn interest, passive income, year in and year out on that investment as it goes up, that's what I mean by passive income, okay? Earning money, having cash flow coming in without working. And I think that that's the age that we are entering. We are entering from the industry age to the information age. And if you're relying on a job for your livelihood and you have to keep working and working to make things work, you could be in trouble. Obviously, you could, get hurt on the job. You could have something happen to you. You could enter retirement and need passive income. So Robert and Kim, his wife, is also very smart in business and real estate in particular. They had this rule that they wanted to get to a point where if they wanted to buy something, they had to do it with passive income. So they got to a point where they were 100% passive income. You want to buy a car? Okay, you've got to have an investment where you're making passive income to pay for that car. Oh, you want to buy this house? Okay, well, you have to have this investment, have enough passive income to pay for the mortgage of that house. You get the point, right? And I'm not saying that this is realistic for everyone listening to this. What I'm saying here is my approach is a certain percentage of your crypto holdings. What percentage is going to be passive income, interest that you are making year in and year out as this space grows and grows and grows over the next few years? I just feel personally, if you're not factoring that into your exit plan, that it is very short-sighted. Because, we tend, I think as Brad Garlinghouse once said, we tend to overestimate in the short term and underestimate in the long term, right? In the long term, where this market could be 5 years from now, man, I can't tell you exactly, but I'm telling you, with all the infrastructure I've been seeing, wow, if my Xrp and Vechain are still doing well and I've held on and I'm earning passive income interest off of them every year, to me that's a home run, right? Then you're talking more wealth where you're able to work only because you want to, and maybe you're able to do other things like charity or whatever your passions are. So I just want to put that out there that if you're not factoring in passive income into your exit plan, I believe that's a huge mistake. Okay, I want to make a couple more points and then I'll be done. So one example that Robert and Kim Kiyosaki give is their first goal. It took him 20 years to get to 120,000 a year in passive income. Okay, now that's a ginormous amount. And then he got to like 1.2 million a year and then 12 million a year in passive income. I realize that's not necessarily all our situations, but the principle is correct. What percentage of your expenses do you want paid with passive income? And I think the goal for me is, even if it takes me several years, I eventually want all of my expenses to be paid with passive income. My house, my car, things that I want to buy, things that I want to do, vacations. It really just seems like guilt-free money to me when it's passive income, right? Because it's coming from an asset that is continuing to grow. Now that's the downside of this. You have to have tremendous confidence in your investments, because what I'm saying is, who's to say that XRP couldn't take a turn to the south years from now? You have to watch your investment close enough to know things could change. And of course, not having everything in one, as much as I talk about XRP, you notice I don't just have XRP, I have Vechain as well as a couple others. So just want to give you that perspective. I feel like the point is, we know millionaires out there that have the fancy cars and the house and all this, but they have zero passive income. And when this market takes a dump eventually, the stock market I'm talking about, it's like Warren Buffett said. He says, only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. Do not swim naked, okay, in this market, right? Get ready for what's coming and factor in passive income into your exit strategy, okay? And just, of course, you got to pay the bills and the debts and this and that. I'm not telling you not to take profits. I'm just saying factor it in. And then once you factor it in and have it set a percentage, then you can stick to the fundamentals and not get caught up into greed and fear and the emotions of price going up and down, because you know what you're holding and you know what your goal is. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you have any questions or thoughts about passive income or what you think is a good strategy for the bull run, I'd love to hear it. All right, thanks. Have a good week.